Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. It felt pretty cool to say that. I've never opened up a video with that before. And I don't usually do videos like this. Typically, they refer to work, which is kind of what I'm going to get at here. But I recently shared this post right here and had a commentary on it about deporting them and so forth, and that they're not loyal to the United States. There was a comment on my post about being prepared to leave. The problem with that is with this post, it speaks of having all of the IDs with them. Now, in the United States, it is illegal to possess um, different IDs simultaneously, valid IDs, or even invalid if they're expired, from two different states. So, being in Ohio, I can't possess a valid driver's license from the state of Ohio as well as a valid driver's license from, say, maybe Florida or any other state in the United States. Um, so the only way that a person like this could possess two valid licenses would be a military ID and um, as well as their current state driver's license ID, or driver's license or state ID or what have you. I would assume a driver's license, which leads me to believe, with the context of this right here, leads me to believe that it is probably an ID from a foreign nation, another nation, making the individual a foreign nationalist. And the reason I said what I said about having no loyalty and don't really offer much investment to the United States and to our nation is because of this. Number one, yeah, when you're prepared like this, you can just leave when you say, you know what, I don't like it, I'm leaving. Number two is, as a contractor, I have worked with, and I admit it, I've worked with Hispanic subcontracting roofing crews. They send the vast majority of their money back to Mexico or their nation, their nation that they are loyal to. They use that. I know I've heard many stories of them sending it back home to build a house, or a house for their whole family, building their mother a house. So they have, and I mean, this is legit, and it's normal. It's normal for this to happen. Hi, Linnea, what are you doing? The little one just came down to say hi. I usually make these videos in a van or in my truck or something. I decided I'd try to do one in my home today, in my basement, with a house full of people, and I had to restart once because a mysterious flying toy came down the steps, and they're not supposed to be flying those in the house anyway. But yeah, that is the issue with these. This is why I don't have a problem saying that people like this need to leave, and just don't come back. They literally, when things get rough for Americans, people like myself, not foreign nationalists, we have to, we deal with it. Sure, you get the occasional loony liberal that flees, Rosie. They flee, they leave the country. Good for them. But, that's not how Americans work. We're not a people that typically runs from our problems. We contend, to resolve our problems. We fight. Americans are known for fighting, for contending for things. And I'm not talking about physically like in a war, unless it actually has to happen, which it has, obviously. I'm talking about, politically, the ballot box. Charlie Kirk was fighting for things. So we can't just up and leave. We don't just up and go, oh my, I'm scared. We don't have that option. These H-1Bs or whatever you want to say, they have that option. Folks like the person in this post that I've been sharing over here, they have that option. If they don't like Donald Trump, if they're afraid that ICE is going to bust them for some reason, or whatever, or harass them, they just up and leave. If they don't like the way things are going politically, if they're, say, an Israeli nationalist, dual citizenship, and they don't like the current rise in anti-Semitism, they can go back to Israel, and I really wish that they all would. So that is the big problem with this. Okay, that's the big problem. They don't have they don't have any loyalty. They have no reason to have any loyalty to the United States of America. They have no reason to really invest aside from benefiting their own family, their own nation, as these roofing crews that I know have done. So yeah, it's get them out. I mean, I don't have a problem. Let them leave. Or if they're possessing 2 state driver's licenses, get them for that. That's a crime, and not a major crime, as far as I know. But I do know that usually when people are, from what I've watched and what I've seen, I watch a lot of police stuff. The people that are in possession of 2 licenses like that are usually not, when they're caught, they're not up to any good at all. It's usually a drug possession thing or something like that. Yeah, or trafficking. And that's what they're up to. So, anywho, enjoy your Saturday, people. Go to church tomorrow. Worship our King, Jesus. Get these, Donald Trump, this administration, I'll just say real quick, stop honoring these false religions. Get it out. Get it out.